Joining me now to talk about a historic decision on the part of the Supreme Court and a historic order, I believe. Today, the Third Circuit Court of Appeals was ordered by the Supreme Court to review its ruling against Hazleton, Pennsylvania, keeping it from carrying out its ordinances against the illegal employment of illegal immigrants. Joining me now to talk about it is a man who gets, as I said to you earlier on this broadcast, he deserves a victory lap. I want him to take that victory lap right here on the Lou Dobbs Show, because I had the opportunity to cover him, to cover this story in Hazleton, and to talk with then Mayor Lou Barletta throughout the entire episode. Congressman, it's great to have you back with us here on the Lou Dobbs Show.
Thanks, Lou. It's nice to talk to you again, and this is a good day.
Congratulations, and you take as many laps as you want, because it's all a victory lap.
Well, it's not only a great day for Hazleton, it's a great day for cities all across America who are trying to cope with the burden of illegal immigration. It's unfortunate that we had to do what we did, because the federal government won't.
It's really stunning, but this ruling, how do you interpret it, and how quickly do you expect the Third Circuit Court of Appeals to reverse itself?
Well, the Supreme Court reviewed the Third Circuit's decision, said that it was wrong. It vacated that decision and sent the case back to the lower court for reconsideration. Hopefully, it will be heard in a timely manner, since not only Hazleton but many cities across the United States are want to impose this similar law.
One of the things, all that you've gone through when you were mayor, still as congressman to some lesser measure, but certainly when you were mayor of Hazleton, give people a sense of the pressure you were put under, the attacks on you and your colleagues and your fellow citizens in Hazleton as you pursued those ordinances.
Well, it was a very difficult time, Lou, for not only myself but my family as well. I was the first mayor and first city to do anything like this, and literally politicians would not even come near us here in Hazleton, and it was pretty refreshing, come to think of it. However, there was the name calling, the racist, the bigot, names that would be sent my way. My life had been threatened a couple times, so it hasn't been very easy. Was never done to promote myself or to get on the Lou Dobbs Show. It was to protect the people of this city, and what I didn't know at the time, Lou, although elected officials would not come near me, and much of the media opposed what I was doing, there were millions of Americans that were standing behind me.
Right. Yeah. And by the way, I want to say, as you and I were talking on television then, I was with a different network than I am now. But I want people to understand something. These pressures were immense that were on me as well, and others, on my reporters, on everyone associated with the broadcast, because we were going against the grain. We were talking honestly about the issues as we understood them, and we were providing a forum for a national debate and dialogue, an honest and forthright debate. It's almost, as I sit here looking at this ruling, I think, my God, why wasn't this here 3 years ago? Why wasn't it here 5 years ago? And what a difference it could have made.
Well, Lou, much of what I said and what you said and what you were showing on TV, it was being mischaracterized by so many, and it was very disheartening for me to pick up a newspaper or watch a show saying how I was against immigrants and immigration.
Sure.
And I've always tried to make it clear that we have to be able to separate the legal immigrants from those that are here legally,
right,
or we'll never have an intelligent or fruitful discussion about a problem that is affecting this country. And here we are, 5 years after I introduced the Hazleton Ordinance, and we're still talking about the same problem, because Washington still doesn't have the backbone or the spine to do what we need to do.
Yeah, and I'm still talking to folks. By the way, across the spectrum of people who are involved in the dialogue, of folks who are pro-amnesty, people who are restrictionists, and everybody in between, trying to bring together some rational, humane, intelligent, effective policy. And my Lord, it is such, we have made this kind of progress, and we're doing this on the Lou Dobbs Tonight Show on Fox Business. We've made this much progress, and by the way, I'm not complaining, but I'm sort of halfway bragging and halfway expressing frustration. We've come to two conclusions right now in the dialogue that we're having. One is that indeed border security remains the urgent problem that has to be rectified, and secondly, and I think concomitantly, the illegal employer is the problem. And those two seem like such self-evident and obvious issues. And because they are, there has to be the deflection and the distraction and the charges of racism for anybody who advances those issues.
Well, that's the magnet. Obviously, the cheap labor and the profit that businesses want to make by hiring illegal workers, that's the magnet that brings so many here. But the American people who are, they saw this problem a long time ago, and I'll give you an example. Just a few weeks ago, in a borough that borders the city of Hazleton, a police chief stopped a man for speeding. The gentleman could not speak English, so he got a translator. Found out that the man's been in the country illegally for 6 years, living in Hazleton, did not have a job, did not know his address, had $3,000 cash in his pocket, and 2 public benefit access cards in 2 different names.
Unbelievable.
When ICE was informed, they told the police chief to let him go, to let this man go, knowing that he was committing fraud here illegally, and that's what has the American people outraged by this. In Washington, we're cutting programs for the elderly, heating assistance programs, and here we're trying to cut out waste, fraud, and abuse, and we have federal agencies that are turning their head.
Yeah, and it's been going on for years. I mean, that's amazing. And we're going to be talking about that tonight on Lou Dobbs Tonight. Congressman Barletta is joining me, and I'm delighted that you are. You know, when we do, when we provide an opportunity for victory laps for folks who've shown the guts and the foresight that that people like, and there are too few people like Congressman Lou Barletta, we mean business about victory laps. So,
well, Lou, the part that makes me feel so good is that what I've learned over the past 5 years is that there are so many immigrants, especially Hispanic immigrants, who came here the proper way. They're the ones who are affected most by illegal immigration. They're the ones who are hurt the most. And so many politicians are afraid to stand up and say that. And sometimes people look at me strange when I say, listen, I'm probably one of the strongest voices for the legal Latinos in America, because I want them to have the opportunity that America should be providing for them.
And think about the insult that this administration delivers to Hispanic Americans. He talks to them as if they were monolithic. As if there were only one view, that if you're Hispanic, you have to you have to be pro-amnesty for illegal immigrants. And he and the national liberal media, again, which just drives me, I'm beside myself with frustration with them. The fact is that almost 40% of Hispanics voted for the Republican candidate in November of last year. 40%. And it's stunning to think that there were that kind. I mean, that's stereotyping an entire group of Americans.
Well, what they're miscounting is the fact that the Hispanic population, they want a good education for their children. They want a good job. They want their children to have a better life. They want to live in good neighborhoods. That's what they came to America for. And we've allowed the underground workforce to come in here and compete for their jobs and make it more difficult to educate their children. So, this is one giant step here in this battle. We're not across the finish line by no means, but I feel very good today that the Supreme Court agrees with Hazleton, and we'll have our day in court again.
And it now, because of the Supreme Court ruling, it is now clear that municipalities, and state governments, if they have the political will, can act against the illegal employer of illegal immigrants, and that could be a significant turning point in resolving the issue of illegal immigration in this country. Would you agree?
I absolutely would agree. This is where we need to attack it, at the people who are profiting from illegal immigration. And the second portion of our ordinance is the harboring portion, where landlords are exploiting so many people in this country for profit. I saw it here as a mayor, where the living conditions were not fit for animals, yet alone for human beings to be living like this. And where does the person go? They certainly can't go to the government officials that are here illegally. So we need to attack the problem at where it is, and that's the people who are profiting from it.
Congressman Lou Barletta, great to have you with us, and congratulations.
Thanks again.
A battle well fought.